Thanks for joining us. This is Ryan Ratliff from Mad River Outfitters. Thanks for tuning in to a tutorial. We got something cool to really show you today. This is the Buck Nasty Fly. I just tied this on a video. You'll have to check that out. It's a couple different things you can do with rigging for this. There's a stinger loop on the back side here. You can just loop on an octopus style hook onto there and just go with it. That's kind of the common way of doing it. We'll just put the hook out the back. Some things that we do, it's kind of a little bit older thing to do, but it's still very, very effective, is to add a hotspot to the back section. So before you put on your hook, instead of just putting it right on there, you take a 6mm bead, is what particular in this size. You can go with an 8mm if you needed to. This is actually a trout bead. So this is the natural roe color. Take the stinger loop, just kind of squeeze that down. There's a hole inside this bead. I'm going to thread it onto that stinger loop and slide it up. At that point, I can loop onto my hook here, and then this bead would slide back. Just gives a hot spot in the back there. So very common for modern swinging flies to have this stinger loop. Those of you that like to tie tube flies like myself, got a simple tube here. You can do the same exact thing by adding that loop on there. Just have a piece of tippet here, cut off a length. Then I'm going to thread this through the tube just like you normally would. Again, this would be attached to my fly line. This would be tippet. It would already be rigged up. Most of the time, we just tie on our hook onto here and pull the eye right into this junction tube and keeping it nice and close. Sometimes we want the hook to be out just a little bit more and offer a hot spot. If that's the case, then there's a couple ways you can do this. You just would need to form a loop in the back. Traditionally, what we would have done was we would have done a Duncan loop. So we would have folded it over, doubled it up, take the loop in, go through once, go through again, kind of just like a surgeon's knot, and then cinch everything down nice and even. Then pull that knot inside the junction tubing. Now you formed a loop. And at that point, with this fly, choose a chartreuse bead, do the same method. Pinch the loop down, make it small enough so I can get it through the eye of this bead, through the hole in the bead. Slide it to the back. Loop on my hook, slide that back. Now I have a hot spot right by the trailer hook. Depends on how you want. You can vary that length by either pulling this farther into the tube or leaving it out, making it shorter. Lots of different options, but just a different rigging option for any of the modern flies. Flies that you buy here in the shop, you can take that hook off, add that hot spot. You already probably have some trout beads in your box anyway, just in case. Just add something else that might make the difference on a tough day. Thanks a lot for joining us. Again, this is Ryan. Thanks for listening to the fly fishing tutorial.